Street Fighter 2. What comes to mind when I say that? The sound of Ryu's Hadouken? Or maybe Guile's Sonic Boom? Whatever it is that you remember, it's memorable. It's iconic. And for me, it was 1992, and all of a sudden at my local arcade, the Dream Machine in Lincoln, Rhode Island, it was all anyone wanted to play. The arcade went from being moderately busy to an almost arcade renaissance overnight, and it was all because of Capcom's Street Fighter 2. It had captivated an entire generation of arcade fanatics that would line up to challenge their friends and play them for hours on end. The revolution was real. Arcades were back, and they were back because of fighting games. It continued with other heavy hitters like Mortal Kombat, and then the rest was history. And we're now all 40-somethings, and the memories of arcades in the 90s is something truly special to us. Stepping back for a minute, as Street Fighter hit the scene, an interesting and often forgotten hack version of Street Fighter single-handedly changed the trajectory of the entire series. This version was called Street Fighter 2 Rainbow Edition. And guess what? Capcom didn't make it. For a while, they didn't even know this version existed. It wasn't until a Capcom employee, James Goddard, received a report about Ryu throwing fireballs while airborne, which was not even a move possible on either version of Street Fighter that existed at that time. So Goddard decided to investigate and paid a visit to Galaxy Arcade in San Jose, California. And sure enough, Rainbow Edition was real and it was fast. 30% faster than Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. You could perform moves in the air and spam special moves with no cooldown period. You could even change your character while playing by pressing the Player 1 or Player 2 start buttons. But Goddard wasn't impressed and basically thought the game was trash. Little did he know, this wasn't a single instance of the game. It was being manufactured and offered to arcades at a cheaper cost by a Taiwanese hacking group. So what Goddard thought as a nuisance really was quite a big problem. The reports claim he didn't think anything of it really, and he was going to blow it off until he played Street Fighter 2 CE, I think it was later that day. And he said it felt like he was playing underwater. This caused him to go on a campaign within Capcom to take the positive elements of Rainbow and make a faster version of Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, and that ended up being Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting. It's crazy to think that some Taiwanese hacking group was able to shape the future of what would be at that time the most successful fighting game in the arcade and influence what it would ultimately become. So that leads us to now, 2022. Why should we even care about this now? Because this piece of history shaped what I would consider the best fighting game of all time. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna take my Street Fighter cabinet and we're gonna make it a Rainbow Edition, even for just a little while, to see what this is all about. All right, here we are, Street Fighter 2 Rainbow Edition. So I'm gonna get started, but I'm gonna have 2 players at a time because I wanna show you some of the unique features of the game before I show you a game against the CPU. Now, anything I show you, the CPU can do too. So the first thing I'm going to show you, I talked about being able to change characters mid-game. So I'm going to use the Player 2 button. So if this was my opponent or the computer, they can cycle through players in the middle of the game. So in the middle of the game, you can switch to whoever you want. That's part of the roster on the game. So that's pretty cool. Now I'm going to show you just basic moves and just how you can stack moves and stuff like that. So I'm just going to do a basic fireball using jab. So it's kind of a basic fireball, nothing crazy. It's actually kind of slow, but if I jump and do it, you'll notice it's a heat-seeking fireball. So it always finds its target, which is interesting. So now I'm going to do strong and show you the same thing. Little faster, still heat-seeking, fierce, a lot faster heat-seeking. So, and you can stack them on top of each other. So if I do a bunch in a row, I can stack them. It's really as many I can get out, and then you can kind of build this wall of fireballs and eventually, knock out your opponent, which is really cool. I'll show you hurricane kicks. The hurricane kick is super fast. The dragon punch is super fast. You fly across the whole screen. It's just wild, and you can keep jumping up. You can jump up so much. It's really broken in that sense because you can keep going up and up and up and eventually go off the screen. I don't know if I can do it right now. I didn't do it fast enough, but yeah, you can basically go off the screen. Now, if I do a dragon punch,
You'll see it flies all the way across the screen, so that can be pretty effective. The hurricane kick is really fast. Like I said, the game is about 30% faster than CE, so you know, you can see really the only elements, or one of the only elements I really put into hyper fighting was the speed, because the speed makes it super fun. The game itself actually is pretty fun as well. The character movement, you'll see, is a lot faster too, which, why am I moving with it? That's kind of weird. Anyways, so, and like basically any character can shoot a fireball too. So if I pick E Honda, let's see, and I move forward, he'll shoot fireballs out at the same time. So kind of wild. There's just a lot of crazy stuff. Now I'm gonna go to, let's see, I'm gonna switch to, oh, time's up. Okay, when I go back in, I'm gonna switch to, why am I having such a hard time remembering his name today? To Guile, all right. Guile, Super Guile. All right, that's for Wicked Gamer, by the way. So you can see even E Honda can shoot those heat-seeking fireballs at the same time. You can jump up in the air. It's nuts. All the characters, you can see how it was heat-seeking right there. You can stack the moves if you can get them off fast enough. So anyways, you can see you can jump up and do it. It's nuts. It's totally crazy. Let him kill me, and then I'm gonna go and do a computer-based game here right now. So the thing I would encourage you to do is check this out on MAME if you can. It's also on Fightcade, so if you know or use Fightcade, you can go in there and do tournaments on this game and stuff, so it's pretty cool. But I really like it. It's funny because it's very broken, but it's actually super fun. Shoot. No! Oh no! Oh shit, where is he? Ah, damn it! See, he was like completely off the screen, like completely out of the view. But anyway, I'm telling you, you gotta check it out. But I will say, it's really fast, which makes it fun, but it is, people state that it's completely broken, and it is. All the character balance is off, you can do crazy things, all the moves can be stacked, you can do them in the air. I'm not gonna do a complete playthrough, but it is definitely a game that you should just check out if you're a Street Fighter fan, just because of the history of it. It ended up being incorporated into hyper fighting, at least the speed elements of it, and I think it's a lot of fun. Alright guys, I'm not gonna lie, this video was a complete pain in the ass to put together, but I had so much fun doing it. Because the history of Street Fighter runs so deep, and the fact that this Taiwanese group was going into arcades or whoever and selling this kit to upgrade to this new version of Street Fighter, and then having Capcom find out about it and then going, huh, they might be onto something here, and that helped shape what Street Fighter became. I just think it's totally cool, and there's a lot of holes in my version of the story because it takes a long time to actually tell this. I'll use links in the description to provide other videos that I pulled content for. There's also other videos on this exact topic that go way deeper, and they're much longer videos, so if this kind of excited you like it did me, then you might want to check those out as well. But I do encourage you, you've got to play this. If you're a Street Fighter fan, you can't not go through life without trying it out. It's completely broken. The reality of it is it's so broken, it's so imbalanced, but it's so fun. And there's actually a link in the description to a tournament that someone ran on Rainbow, and it's wild. There's like crazy stuff. It's weird, the more you play it, the more you're like, wait, did it do that last time? So I also think there's slight tweaks and revisions of the same version floating around, so who knows? But I would encourage you to go play it and try it out. You can do so on, I think Pandora's Box DX has it. I'm pretty sure a lot of the Pandora's boxes have it, but they might call it something slightly different than Rainbow, but you should be able to find it. You can find it in archive.org. You just type in MAME Rainbow ROMs or something. You should find it, or MAME Street Fighter 2 Rainbow ROMs. And then I'm trying to think of where else you could find it. Oh, Fightcade. Fightcade has it, so you could play it there too, play it with friends, whatever, but you gotta check it out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. There's too many people to thank. I have all of the links in the description of this video of where I found content here and there. Tons and tons of content. And if I made any mistakes, definitely correct me. This isn't typically the kind of video I make, but like I said, kind of a pain in the ass to put together, but so much fun. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel, put your comments below. I wanna hear from you, and that's it for now. We will see you on the next one.